Hey, thanks for joining us for lunch today with Lunch with Doug. We're continuing our conversation with Patrick Skaggs today on Lunch with Doug. This episode of Lunch with Doug is produced by the Music Exerbia Project and made possible by the Boutique Marketplace at 500 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Karen McNair, the friendly neighborhood nutritionist, at 269-267-4644. The Harry Frog Graphics, 150 North Commercial Street in fabulous Nevada, Missouri, or call them at 417-381-1077. The Second Edition Shop, located at 500 East Cherry Street in fantastic Nevada, Missouri. The Main Square Cafe, located on the square, 121 North Main Street, Nevada, Missouri. The Gamers Fusion, located at 617 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. Impact Graphics, located at 14144 East Highway 54, or call them at 417-283-2056. The Nevada Tobacco and Liquor Store, located at 125 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. The Nevada Coin, 123 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. I'm your host, Dangerous Doug Harper. Thank you for spending your lunchtime with me. Dangerous Doug Harper back with you on Lunch with Doug. Today we have Patrick Skaggs with us. Hello, Patrick.
Well, hello there.
We've actually been talking for a while now. You got to listen last week. So here we are back, and if we go long today, we'll just continue tomorrow. So Patrick, yes, you're here. Where were we at? We talked about your early life. We talked about how you got into being a radio DJ when you were in Nevada, and then you went to Arkansas, and we talked about you as a child singing in the choir. And then we were kind of talking about a lot of the experiences in your professional career of the bands and artists you'd interviewed and met and some of the shows you went to and stuff. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk to you about, and then we were getting to the end, we were talking about Red Cherry Alley a little bit. But you grew up in the St. Louis scene. You went to see lots of shows in the St. Louis scene, and then you've been in some other towns around, and you were interviewing a lot of people from the Branson area and things. And let's look at the Nevada scene for just a little bit, and we'll talk about kind of what is it like somebody like you who has been involved in bigger scenes and stuff, and what are the good things that you're getting in the smaller scenes, and what are the things that we're missing that we need to add in the smaller scenes? This is a big question, isn't it?
It is. You're really going to make me use the brain.
We've talked some in the past, different times about this, but there are advantages to big metro areas, and there are disadvantages as well to metro.
Correct.
Like we were talking about competition. I mean, because there is, like Nevada doesn't really have a local ska band right now, but St. Louis has probably got 50 or 60 ska bands,
Yes, but only because it's back in vogue. Everything 80s and 90s is coming back, as we know, and that's including music. So ska music is coming back as well, and I love it. I love the fact that my daughter is an old soul and loves the Beatles and Blink-182 and knows the lyrics to these bands.
Nice.
But there's always good music. It doesn't have to be oldies. That's the thing. I hear a lot of old people always say, what do we say? We say, music isn't any good anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's the get off my lawn thing. It's not that. It's the problem is time and responsibilities. You're an adult now. You don't have time to go do these things. But I would say for like small areas like Nevada, make it accessible to the kids. They're the ones that are going to drive it.
Yeah.
They have the time. As they get older and get part-time jobs, they have the disposable income. Mm-hmm. They're always going to be the ones driving the scene. So they're probably better to ask than me. But yeah, make it accessible. It shouldn't be just bands at, bars. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm going to pump this. I'm going to be your biggest fan about your venue.
I like that.
Red Cherry Alley. So that's a great start. But just like Gordon's Pizza, it's just a pizza place. Everybody likes pizza. Kids like pizza. We had a good thing going over there.
Yeah.
As well. So you want to make it accessible is the big thing I can think of, really.
Yeah.
You don't see also one thing in St. Louis, there's a lot of. You'll see the Limp Brewery. There is one building in the Limp Brewery a friend of mine runs for the owner, and all the rooms had been turned into recording studios.
Oh, wow.
And they rent those out to the musicians. So you just have a whole creative factory right there.
Yeah.
You have, my brother's band. I've been up in there. My brother is in a heavy metal band, and his metal band is right next to the room with a hip hop artist. And all these people get along, and all these people, because they're all sharing the same passion, the same fundamental music. Mm-hmm. And it really grows the scene when you can do stuff like that. So opportunities for people that, or they just don't know the opportunities for recording. Not everybody has the money to set up a home studio as well. So having a place that could, with reasonable prices, because they have to make a profit, to get these kids in and they can do their thing and put out something that they can be proud of and show off as well.
So now you've got me thinking. We need to give the high school some money so they have a recording studio for the kids.
There you go.
Okay, somebody listening,
but
right?
just those garage bands,
write the check.
These kids maybe want to start a band, or they have some music already that they want to put down, don't know how to go about it as well. It takes the adults' involvement, and there's really not a lot of things in Nevada you can do anymore. We don't even have a movie theater anymore.
Yeah.
So we're getting Red Cherry Alley.
Live music's it.
That's it. It's coming back in vogue, people. 80s, 90s way.
Well,
just coming back in vogue.
And I'll tell you, that Nevada, obviously I love to talk about Nevada on the show, and then I know there's lots of people that are listening that could care less about Nevada, so I try to make it relevant to everyone. Like, for instance, we're going to have an indie musician on, and hopefully this will inspire the people regionally, locally. But we're going to talk to a gal who is in Beijing, China, actually.
Oh, nice.
And she was, if you've ever heard of CD Baby.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they were, for a while, I don't know if they still are. I imagine they still are. But for a while, they were the largest independent retailer of music. So they sold CDs, and then later they got into, helping people sell, digital downloads and stuff. But they still, and now they bought a manufacturer. So now they manufacture records and CDs.
Oh, nice.
And I think you can get cassettes probably from them, too. So anyway, they do all this stuff. So if you're doing this stuff, they're kind of large in the United States, but this gal that we're going to be talking to at some point, she was their top seller. They have the
nice.
Top seller of the month or whatever. So that means there was 900,000 some artists that put out albums that year. So she was pretty good top seller.
I would say she probably has a little talent,
but probably most people won't know her name, but she's been in the industry. She's still playing. And so I remember her from years ago, and I was like, oh. So I reached out to her, and she was excited to do it. So we're gonna talk, and it's gonna be great. Some kind of Zoom I think I'm gonna have to do to talk to her in Beijing, China. But yeah, so that's gonna happen. But somebody had said, well, why do you want this kind of person on your show? Because they miss the fact that even though a small town is small, we're still important into a greater scheme of music thing. Like you said, things begin. Somebody for instance, Kid Codeine, he was from El Dorado, but then he lived over here when he became a rapper, and now he lives down by Branson. But, again, people aren't necessarily up here. They're not really following his career, but he's really doing some good stuff, and he's got some really good music. And I said, this kid, he, from El Dorado, he's got some of the best new music that I've heard lately. People are like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, it's really good. And so he's getting, it's not huge, but he's getting upwards of 50,000, 100,000 plays on some of his songs and stuff, which is hard to do.
Exactly. It's so much more accessible for everybody with the home equipment and the MP3 downloads, file sharing, all that. It's so accessible that there's a lot more voices out there, so it's even harder. You don't have the megaphone of the record company blowing over all of the others and drowning them out, which is good and bad. The positive is you're not under record company control. you probably know as well as I do. I watched my friends' bands and seen how it operates. They're not like, we love you, here's a million, $2 million or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, we like you. Here's some money we're going to loan you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, is that any upfront money is owed on future
Recoupable.
earnings. We want, here's the contract. We want you to make 3 albums for us over this span of time. Here's $250,000 to go upgrade your equipment and to go into the studio.
Yeah.
But if your stuff flops or for some reason you break up or something,
you still owe us.
You're on the hook for that money regardless. And when you have 4 or 5 people in a band and just one guy decides, I'm not doing this anymore. Seeing that, a friend of mine's band went on tour in Europe. He got homesick, the drummer. He went home.
Yeah.
The band disbanded.
Yeah.
I don't know what the contract says personally. If they had put out in one album. I don't know if it was just for one album. Might have been for more. I don't know how it works, but those things happen.
Yeah.
And you're more in control of what you do now. That's great. You don't have to have a record label. You don't have to have $250,000 equipment. You don't have to have all of those strings attached. But that does come at a price that you have to do more of the work.
Yeah.
As well. That's the part a lot of people don't understand. The best way to get popular, the best way to make money in this business, it might be a bad word nowadays. Go out, tour, play.
Yeah.
It was like that back in the day. It's still like that.
Yeah.
You can put these on here, and you probably have an excellent song. You can put them on, tap tunes. You can put them on Spotify. You can do all that. But you have to go out there and be your biggest promoter, and the only way to do that is to go play in these places. Give those people that face-to-face experience, that they're going to have those memories, whether it was a good band or a bad band, like we talked about earlier.
I might have bought the Bad Band CD just to have the memory, or the T-shirt because it was a clever shirt. Because I was there, It's like going to the zoo when it's raining, You're still going to buy the zoo T-shirt, even though you had a bad experience at the zoo that day because it rained. You didn't see half the zoo, but you still had the memory. So
you had to buy that umbrella there because it was raining and you forgot yours. See how it works?
Colorful zoo umbrella forever in your car.
But that goes to the flip side of broadcasting, the marketing and the sales that people don't understand.
Yeah.
And sales can actually be pretty fun. You just have to be creative with it. I think one of the things I learned down there, which is a bigger market in Branson, was just to open my eyes to the creativity part. We did a gas giveaway, and one of the other program directors at one of our sister stations up in Branson, Steve Willoughby, great guy, pitched me this idea for our station that he had done in California at a station. And he was like, this is what happens. It's a gas giveaway. You give away X amount of dollars as a coupon to people. But you don't announce when it's going to happen and where it's going to happen until like 15 minutes beforehand. And the first 30 people that come to this gas station at this place at 7 o'clock is going to get $10 in free gas.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And again, we did this during the recession in 2008, in the summer when it was $4 and climbing. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of logistics that's got to go into this to pull something up like this, because you can have bedlam being like, everybody run to this side of the town now to get gas. So we had to get the local police involved, let them know what we want to do and how feasible it is. And they helped us plot out, well, one gas station right behind it was a hotel. So we go talk to the hotel. Hey, can we use you as a staging area where we can get these cars that are all lined up into a parking lot and not blocking traffic? You got to think of things like that. How are you going to sell this? How are you going to make money on it? So you get sponsors. Obviously, the gas station is your big sponsor. They're the ones giving away the gas. And then you have to give other sponsors that want to be in on it, and give them some advertising. And I don't think people understand, that side of it. They don't get to see how the sausage is made sometimes. It takes a lot of work. But I will tell you, I was driving in the station truck through a McDonald's drive-thru down there, and they hand me my order, and after they hand me my order, they're like, hey, when's the next time you guys giving away free gas? I was like, well, you're just going to have to listen for that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Can't give it away. You had to listen. But we had one great story is these people heard about it, the gas giveaway, and they were close by, and they literally pulled into the parking lot on fumes. We had to push them from the hotel parking lot into the gas station, and it's the DJs are doing this, the salespeople are helping push the car. It's like all hands on deck, and we pushed them and got them some gas so they can get on their way. And so they were really grateful, and that just felt really good, to be able to provide that opportunity for them.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool promotion for sure. This is a fun story. Because obviously episode isn't about this, but this is actually my 30th year doing like music. I say music and community, So I'm celebrating 30 years, and it worked out as a nice time to be trying to, open a new music venue too. Like everything you've worked for, this is where it's gonna, what's the word? I don't know. Solidify, maybe. I don't know. Grow, yeah.
This is where your garden is going to grow.
So, but I think back 10 years ago when I was 20 years, right? And I was like, I got to do something for my 20th year, right? So I decided I wanted to play a show on the roof of, which is Brickwall Bistro now, right? And
I was there.
And I wanted to throw $1,000 off, though. I was going to throw $1,000 off, and then I was going to throw coupons out, and I was also going to throw out, some money that just some printed stuff that just commemorated the moment, And so I go to talking to the assistant city manager at the time, and she was like, it was like hard no. She's like, well, Doug, you just can't do this because this is a city property down below, and so you're throwing $1,000 off. People, like you said, people go nuts trying to grab this money, and somebody will get hurt. And I thought, well, no, I don't think it'll be that bad, or whatever. But come to find out, Nevada did a ping pong ball drop at one point with this big crane. This is like back before my time, and they dropped these ping pong balls, and the balls had numbers, and each of the numbers there was a big prize on one of the numbers. So all these people and somebody did get hurt. So I didn't, unbeknownst to me, that's why they said that. So I didn't get to play the rooftop till Oktoberfest, and I did not throw any money off. So
No, I was right there, and I most likely would have got that money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why there was, that was just Oktoberfest.
So have they never saw WKRP?
Yeah.
And the turkey drop?
Yeah, the turkey drop.
I swear, I thought turkeys could fly. No, people get hurt dropping stuff like that.
But yeah, so that's what happened years ago, the ping pong ball drop. Somebody later had compared the story. They were like, well, that's like the ping pong drop. You didn't know that story? And I was like, I know a lot of innovative stories, but I do not know that one.
I think I would remember if I knew that one.
The ping pong. So, yeah.
And then we would do little promotions, teamed up with a car dealership down there. We would, and we had tickets for Bill Engvall.
Oh, yeah.
We were giving away tickets to Bill Engvall. And I would take Bill Engvall's head and put him on different pages of our website. And so they had to go find, it was, where's Engvall instead of where's Waldo?
Sure.
And they had to find all of them, and then they had to send their answer of how many they found. First one gets the...
Yeah.
And we did that a few times, and I'd change them on different pages. And it kind of reminds me now, looking back, because I'd put it in the corner. It almost looks like those memes where you have all the football quarterbacks, they're bashing the Cowboys or somebody. How about them Cowboys? And you see, that's kind of what it looked like, a little Engvall sitting there just peeking out from the side of something. And I think that went over really well. We got a lot of traffic to the website, was what I was going for. And of course, it made, you could also enter by going into the auto dealership, because that's the big thing. You have to bring that added value. You have to drive that traffic to that customer. You can't sell it for them. Sometimes you have those those clients that are like, well, I didn't make any money, but you had a large crowd, and that's all I can do. I can't sell your product. You're the expert on the product. I can get them in the door for you, but then you have to put in the work, just like musicians have to put in the work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They certainly do. And nowadays, a lot of the music people I talk to, or not always just music people, I'll talk to business people, owners and things too, and they'll say, but mostly I'm referencing the music people and they think that they've done something, and they're like, well, I tried, and I look at what their try was, and I'm like, I don't even think you started.
Right?
Yeah.
You thought about trying.
Your try was like my pre-plan. That was like my brainstorm, my 10-minute brainstorm, it was your try.
I think that was a sip of coffee right there.
Yeah.
That was what that was.
Yeah, it's I won't name any names, but somebody once in Nevada, a business was up for trying to get some business, And so they literally, they're like, well, we'll do pizza by the slice, which wasn't anything like what they were doing anyways. They weren't a pizza place. But I said, that'd be good at lunchtime, because there's a lot of people that just want a quick lunch, and cheap, quick lunch, Well, the pizza by the slice would be ready. They come in, they grab the drink, they grab their slice and go. I said, I think this would be a good idea. Now, I heard this from the business owner, okay? Then they put it into effect the next week, right? So I probably heard about this on Thursday or Friday that they were going to do this next week, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, I didn't have a chance to get to the restaurant before they canceled it. They literally did it for 3 days. They said it didn't work. And I said, I knew about it, and I didn't get down to your restaurant in time, and I knew about it.
I was like, give it time to get in people's ears.
I had made it on my schedule. I was like, okay, well, Friday is payday.
Right.
I always go out to eat somewhere on payday, so I'm going to take lunch on Friday there and try the pizza, right? So you tell me on Friday, I'm talking, 7 days later.
Right.
Was my plan to go there, and maybe I might have stopped in before, but yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, done. No Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of people think you can buy one ad or one spot on a radio station, one ad in the paper, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
No, because the best brands are always in your ear or in front of your eyes, in your brain. We're talking long-term advertising, long-term results, not just a quick giveaway promo. Those are great. Opening, a new place, celebrating an anniversary, or you have some inventory that needs to get out for new inventory, things like that. But that is not... Yeah. You have to, even something that, small of a giveaway and stuff, you still have to give people time and build it up and get excited about it yourself. If you're not excited about it, why should I?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for today's Lunch with Doug. We'll be talking with Patrick some more tomorrow. Not the s'mores that you make on the campfire, but more tomorrow. We'll be talking with Patrick more tomorrow here on Lunch with Doug. Thanks for spending your lunchtime with me. This episode of Lunch with Doug is produced by the Music Exerbia Project and made possible by the Boutique Marketplace at 500 East Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. Karen McNair, the friendly neighborhood nutritionist, at 269-267-4644. The Harry Frog Graphics, 150 North Commercial Street in fabulous Nevada, Missouri, or call them at 417-381-1077. The Second Edition Shop, located at 500 East Cherry Street in fantastic Nevada, Missouri. The Main Square Cafe, located on the square, 121 North Main Street, Nevada, Missouri. The Gamers Fusion, located at 617 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri. Impact Graphics, located at 14144 East Highway 54, or call them at 417-283-2056. The Nevada Tobacco and Liquor Store, located at 125 West Cherry Street in Nevada, Missouri. The Nevada Coin, 123 East Cherry Street, Nevada, Missouri.